Hello, I'm Rosie and today I'm going to be doing the Independent Bookshop Week Tag. It is now Independent Bookshop Week, hence the tag, and this runs from the 18th to the 25th of June. So if you ever wanted to go book shopping and support your independent bookshop, now's the time to do it. I saw this video on Jean Bookish Thoughts channel, so I'll link that video in the description below, along with the original creator of this tag's video. I didn't get tagged by anyone, but I thought it'd be just a fun video to do, so I'm doing it. Yeah, so I'm going to get started because my camera's battery is running a little low today, so I'm going to try and be as quick as possible in answering these questions, and yeah, see how it goes. Question 1. What books are currently in your bag? I'm going to have to answer this with none at the moment because I generally swap books around as soon as I get back from work, take books out of my bag, and I'm currently trying to rearrange everything at the moment, so there's nothing in my bag. I am, however, currently reading 3 books, all of which have at some point been in my bag in the last few days. These are The Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, The Capellan of Malta by Nicholas Montserrat, and Passenger by Alexander Bracken, which is on my Kindle, which is the one that's been in my bag most frequently because it is the lightest. Second question is, what is the last great book you read? This was quite difficult for me because I have read a lot of good books recently, but I think the most recent one is probably A Gathering of Shadows by V. Schwab. I absolutely loved the first book, A Darker Shade of Magic, and this book just completely lived up to the expectation that came as a sequel to that. It's really good and I don't think I can wait for the next one. Third question is, what book have you gifted the most often? I don't think I've actually gifted books more than once. I tend to try and fit the book around the person I'm giving the book to. I don't actually think I've given one book over more times than any of the others, so I don't think I'll be able to actually answer this question. What's your favourite independent bookshop? No question for me, this is Blackwell's, which is in Oxford. That bookshop is incredible. It's big, it's got so many books in it, and each section just feels like you're stepping into a new magical world, and I really love it so much. What's your favourite book recommended by a bookseller or by a booktuber? I don't think I've actually been recommended a book by a bookseller, or specifically to me by a booktuber. So for this one, I'm probably going to have to go with one that I've just seen on Booktube that people have just said you should read, and that would probably be Anything by Brandon Sanderson. I'll pull out Firefight here because that's the closest one to hand, but I hadn't heard of Brandon Sanderson before I started watching Booktube, and now I have, and he's now one of my favourite authors. So I think that's a pretty good answer to this question, just anything related to Brandon Sanderson. What's your favourite bookshop memory? This was quite a difficult one to answer because my memory is terrible, and I guess for me, like, the most memories I have in bookshops are discovering new books. The ones that aren't really related to that, which do stand out, is being so engrossed in the books on the shelves I end up staying in a bookshop for hours upon hours, and possibly going down to the bottom floor of Blackwell's for the first time because that room is incredible. I think there's even a photo opportunity section where you can take a photo of the room, but it's just a completely another world down there. So I think that was probably one of my favourite memories of being in a bookshop. What do bookshops mean to you? I think for me they're a kind of means to escape, in that I read a lot to kind of escape real life and go into another world, so I don't actually read that much contemporary because it's too similar to the world I live in. I'd much rather go on adventures with magic and dragons and all that kind of thing. So I guess for me bookshops are kind of a doorway into that world, and I get to discover new books, new characters, new places for me to visit in my head, and I think that's probably what it means, what I find the most special thing about them. And you don't really get that by going on the internet and buying a book on there, because you don't have that process of going out, stepping into a bookshop, spending hours reading all the blurbs and looking at all the books on the shelves, and being completely engrossed in these new worlds. Whereas on the internet, you find a book you want, it's a lot, and to buy it, it's a lot harder to browse, I find, at least. So I guess that's what is most special to me about bookshops, is that ability to physically go somewhere and physically just discover new worlds to escape into. What are the books that made you, and the ones that most influenced you? I don't think there's any question here. I think it's probably the one that's going to be the most, it's going to be a very cliche answer for me at least, and that is Harry Potter, the whole entire Harry Potter series. They have probably shaped me the most out of all the books I've read, and I still find myself going back to those series over and over and over again. They are the books that I grew up with, and I don't see how any other book would probably shape me as much as the Harry Potter series have. What books do you recommend readers gift on Father's Day? I don't know. Like, all fathers are different. I'd probably go with something that's related to the father's interests. So if they like football, maybe a biography of their favourite footballer. If they like fantasy stories, then Brandon Sanderson's always a good way to go, because I mentioned him in this video earlier. Sci-fi, Julia May's a good bet, I love her books, and yeah, there's a whole variety of books, and I think you just got to try and fit it around your father's taste and what they've already got. And if they're not a reader, don't give them a book. I don't know. Difficult question. I don't like difficult questions. But yeah, give them something that's related to their interest. The final question is, what book is currently at the top of your TBR pile? Because of the way I do my TBR at the moment, where I just pick a book at random out of my TBR jar, I don't really have one that's at the top of the list because they're not really ranked. But I guess if they were, then I've got two, which are Jojo Moyes, Me Before You, because the film's come out and I've just seen the film, so I'm very curious to see what the book is like and how that's similar that is to the book. I know someone who did not enjoy the book at all, but really enjoyed the film, so I don't really know, so I'm quite curious to read the book and see how different that is to the film. Also, Invasion of the Tearling. I have been having this at the top of my TBR for ages, but it's so big and it's one of those books that I want to sit down and read properly, so it needs a good proper weekend to read it, and I'm so busy these coming weekends. I just want to be able to sit down and read it, so it gets pushed back and back. But hopefully I'll put it out of my TBR jar pot soon and be able to get back into this world and find out what happens. In terms of books that I want to buy, that I haven't got yet, probably The Hero of Ages, which is the final book in the Mistborn trilogy, because I don't have that one and I've not read it, and my brain just like, I want to know how it ends, but I don't have that one yet. So that's probably in the top of the books that I haven't actually bought yet or I haven't got yet. So yeah, that's it for my answers to the Independent Bookshop Week Tag. That's a really long mouthful. Independent Bookshop Week Tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll put the questions below, so if any of you want to do it, feel free. You can say I tagged you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.